Hi, you're welcome to the third tutorial on HTML. In this tutorial, we're going to continue from where we stopped in the previous tutorial by exploring mode tags and their tag attributes. Alright, so here we have a predefined HTML document, which not actually a HTML document though, it's just a text document which has some text in it. So what we're just gonna do basically here is that we are gonna format this text so it can appear in a web browser in a HTML format. You'll see what I mean when we view this file on the web browser. So I'm gonna save this file. I'm gonna save it as example3.html. Example3.html. I'm gonna save it as all files. I'm gonna save it in my desktop. I'm gonna click on save. So here we have example3.html. Alright, just observe that our files do not show the file name extension which we usually see in files. I'll show you what I mean. To set that, I'm gonna open a window, let's say documents, then I click on organize. Then I'm gonna choose folder and search options. Then I'm gonna click on view. Then I'm gonna have to untick the hide extensions for known file types. I have to untick that because this functionality hides the extensions for known file types. So I'm gonna click on apply. And when I do that, my file name extensions now show. You can see each file ends in a .html extension. Then next thing I would like to do is to create a new folder in my desktop, and let me call this folder examples by name. I'm gonna drag all these files down into my examples folder because I don't really like cluttering my desktop. It's just my personal policy. So here in my desktop I have the examples folder containing the examples we are working on. So far we are now in example 3, which is this particular file you're seeing over here, this document here. This document has a lot of text which already has been formatted when it was being typed, but in terms of being a HTML document, it doesn't have any tags, as you can see. So I'm going to double click on that file to open up in a web browser, and over here you can see that all the text over here they are not arranged the way they were being typed over here in the document. Okay, the browser doesn't recognize all the paragraphs, the next line and all that. Okay, the browser doesn't recognize that. You have to put in HTML tags in this document in order for the browser to be able to display them the way you want them to be. So you can see that's why all this text has been jam-packed on the browser. So for us to format this text, we'll have to put in some HTML tags. Okay, now I would like to introduce you to a text editor that's better than Notepad, which we'll be using for the rest of these tutorials. So I'm gonna close up Notepad. I downloaded a text editor called Notepad++, which is free. So you can go to the internet and search for Notepad++, download and install it. It's free. Here it is. Okay, so you can open Notepad++ from here, but once you install Notepad++, you can right click on any HTML document and you can see this edit with Notepad++, a menu item over here on the menu that comes out when you right click on the HTML document. So this is the usual way I like to be opening a HTML document. Again, I right click on that, then I click edit with Notepad++, but you can always open a Notepad++ application by going to your start menu and selecting Notepad++. Okay, whichever way is preferable to you. I'm gonna do this. So here comes Notepad++, and you can see this is the text we're about to work with. It's a pretty much more advanced text editor with more functionality. And it's gonna, one thing about Notepad++, one good thing is that it gives us line numbers, so we can know the number of lines we're working with, and if we have an error, maybe a browser make a reference to a line number in the error, we can know where to fetch the error and correct the error. Okay. On the other hand, Notepad++ has what we call code coloring. Okay, so if we have a HTML tag like this, you can see we call that syntax coloring. The HTML tags will actually appear in blue as a closing HTML tag. So this is syntax coloring, which is a nice feature which helps us HTML developers to be able to recognize HTML syntax and other elements in the HTML documents and be able to work with them easily. You see and understand that as we move along. So I'm just gonna put the basic HTML tags. Now we should have the head tag. That's the head tag. I'm gonna put the closing head tag. And we'll have the title tags within the head tags. So here comes the title tags. Okay, so I like the content of our title to be these quotes on relationships, So I'm gonna copy this by highlighting and pressing Ctrl C. I'm gonna paste this with Ctrl V. Alright, so the next tag that comes in my mind is the body tag. So that's the opening body tag. Then I have to close the body tag down here. So this is the closing body tag. Alright, so let's save this with Ctrl S, and we'll go over to the browser and check it out. So here we are, refresh. Okay, you can see our codes on relationships content is shown here. You can right click and view page source, and you can see our tags are in place. So I'm gonna close this. Yeah, these are tags. I'm gonna close this window. Now we'll have to come back to Notepad++ and work with the document that we have. Let me slide this frame down here. Okay, so we have more space to work with, and I'm gonna pull this up a little bit. Okay, so we can have a focus on the Notepad++ document. Alright, so first of all, in the body tags, I'd like us to have some H1 tags. Then I'm gonna cut the codes on relationships text here with Ctrl X. I'm gonna paste it over here with Ctrl V. Okay, so I'm gonna save. Then each of this paragraph is a quote made by an important personality, an important person in history. You can see the names of the people who made the quotes. Okay, so I would like us to put these quotes within the P tags to denote a paragraph for each of them. So that's the P tag for that one. So there's the opening P tag. Oops. And then the closing P tag. The opening P tag. This is the closing P tag. Another opening P tag. Closing P tag. Another opening P tag. Closing P tag. Another opening P tag. Closing P tag. under opening p tag, closing p tag, under opening p tag, and finally the closing p tag. I'm gonna save that, then we'll go over to the browser and see what difference we've made. So you can see this is coming from the H1 tag. This is the first paragraph. This is another paragraph. This is another paragraph. Another one over here, and so on. So you can see it looks a little bit tidy. Let's go back to the code. So we're gonna highlight or align this H1, this header text, with the div tag. If you recall the div tag in the previous tutorial, which can be used to align text. So we say div align equals center. Notice a feature of Notepad++. The parameters of a tag is displayed in red, okay, and the values are displayed in purple, okay. Then the tags are in blue while contents are in black. This helps things to look more neat and understandable when you're writing a lot of code, okay. So let's check it out. So I'm gonna save that, refresh, and you can see codes and relationships is aligned to the center, just like we coded it in HTML. Alright, now the next thing I'd like us to do is the names of the people who made the quotes. Names of these persons should be on the next line, because over here, like Theodore Roosevelt, this is his quote, is on one line, okay. This other guy is on the same line, so that doesn't look neat. So we'll make them to be on the next line. So to make text to be on the next line, because HTML doesn't really understand your line breaks, it puts everything on the same line, you will have to use the BR tag. Now the BR tag is a single tag, doesn't have an opening or closing tag, just it, okay. You don't have anything like opening or closing with the BR tags. So this / here is optional. You can choose to put it. Some people like putting to denote that this tag is actually a single tag, but you can leave it this way. Yeah, it's still gonna work, okay. So you put the BR tag there. Let's put in all other names. There we go. So let's check it out in the browser, refresh, and you can see the names of the people who made the quotes are displayed on the next line. Looks pretty neat, okay. That's nice. Alright, so the next thing I would like us to explore is to make the names of the people here to be in italics, okay, and I also like them to be bold. So I'm gonna use the I tags to make them to be in italics. I'm gonna use the B tags to make them to be bold. Notice how I'm closing the B tags first before the I tags. That's because the I tags is enclosing the B tag. The B tag is within the I tag, so we have to close the inner tags before we close the outer tag, okay. Just like we open the P tag and we close it after all these other tags. Alright, so let's save it, check it out in the browser, refresh, and you can see Theodore Roosevelt is in italics and is bold. Alright, so we can always make a particular text to be bold alone or italics alone if you wish. Okay, I'm sure you know what to do about that. Alright, so I'm just gonna pause the video to complete the rest of the names, and when I pause I'll be done with it. Okay, so I'm done with formatting all the names of the people who made the quotes. So I've saved it, then let's check it out on the browser. You can see all these people's names, and oops, looks like we missed something here. Okay, this man is looks like he's the founder of General Motors, so let's put that on the next line. Okay, so here it is. Yeah, and I would like to cut that and put in within this, and let's check it out. That looks nice. Alright, so with the formatting of the text, you can see with hard work and determination you can get things done nicely. The next thing I'd like us to explore is the background color of a web page. You can see by default our web pages are always displayed in white color background, so we can change that. So to do that, we have to go over to the body tag, and there is a tag attribute of the body tag called BG color. Okay, that's, you can take a wild guess and that's a background color tag attribute. So we say equals, let's give it a color of let's say green. I'm gonna save, go over to the web browser, refresh, and you can see our document has changed into green. Our web page is now in green background color, but this looks a little darker with the black text and might be pretty hard for someone to read. So one thing you should learn is that your background color should be almost the opposite in terms of lightness or darkness to your background text. Okay, so in other words, your background color, if it's light, your text should be dark. If your text is light, your background color should be dark. That's what I mean. So we're gonna go back to the code and change the background color. I think a yellow will be better. So I'm gonna save, go back to the browser, refresh, and this looks pretty nice. Okay, alright, so that's our third tutorial in HTML. We've explored the background color attribute of the body tag. We've explored the I tags, which makes text to be in italics, and we've explored the B tags, which makes text to be bold. Also, what else have we explored today? Okay, we've explored the div tag. We've already done that before in the previous tutorial. So that's it on the third tutorial. I hope you found this informative, and thanks for viewing. We'll see you on the next tutorial.